Now, before I forget to talk about it or never bring it up again, I did watch Bo Burnham's new comedy special, Inside. I am a Bo Burnham fan all the way from high school. Always loved his music, his early stuff. And I had like the song Words, Words, Words completely memorized at one point. I might still have it memorized if I really give it a try. I'm not going to try it right now, but really do his. I enjoy his work, and I enjoyed his last special, Make Happy, which was made for Netflix. And I've seen it twice. I actually watched it again recently before he even announced this new one. So it was really weird. I actually was kind of jumping back onto the whole Bo Burnham thing recently, and then he announced this new special he's been working on all year. I also had Eighth Grade listed as my favorite movie of 2018. So big Bo Burnham fan, just them in general. So I was excited to see him do something again that was more like a comedy stand-up routine, because it sounded like he was going to be giving up stand-up at that point in 2016 after he did Make Happy. But this kind of gave him another avenue to do it, especially since there wouldn't be an audience involved. He would just be doing it inside his own home, and with all the cameras, setups, everything like that done by him, all the music done by him, pretty much from what it sounded like it was him just going at it for the past year. And I liked it a lot. Overall, I'm trying to compare it to his previous specials because I don't know if the music was as heavily comedic this time around versus what he was actually trying to do with some of his other routines. He has a lot more skits going on this time around compared to what has done in the past. If you watch something like Make Happy, he definitely screws around a lot with the stand-up formula and how it goes about, and just like really breaks the fourth wall and your perception. Even like if you're at home watching a special on TV, he kind of breaks the parameters of what it's like to watch a special at home. So with this, he does that too. He breaks a lot of parameters as far as like what normal media and content, which he actually makes fun of that word content, because as I've said in my own videos, I'm not a fan of that word, even though I have used it occasionally. I'm not a fan of it. But he breaks a lot of the rules and the conventions and makes fun of things like that. So this time around, we got more kind of skits. Like he did a thing where he was making fun of reaction videos, which I thought was a lot of fun. It was really funny. Actually, I've done my own thing where I've reacted to my reaction videos, and that's sort of what he did here. But of course, it's not like I was the first one to do it. I just kind of was thinking while watching. I was like, hey, he's doing what I've done before. But a lot of people have done it, where they've done reactions to their own reactions, and as a joke. But of course, Bo Burnham once again does it the best. This is the best I've ever seen as far as doing that kind of joke. It actually made me jealous, where I was like, I wish I was that smart to come up with something that funny, because he definitely made the joke a lot funnier and in a way that I've never seen before. And that's what I mean. He's just kind of making fun of what the current YouTube sphere is like. Also made fun of like gameplay videos and how sometimes they're just a little bit bland. Some people are just creating stuff because they just feel compelled to create stuff. And in this case, he's playing a game, which I was kind of wondering, how is he going to do this now? Is he going to make like a fake game? Did he actually get some animators to work on something? Did he just make something himself? But no, he just films a live action portion where he's like doing all the movements like it is a game, while there's someone green screened in the corner, which is him, just commenting on it. And it's just genius. It's things that should have already been done by now, but I haven't seen. And if it's been done, it's done much funnier when I see it in the way that he does it. I think too, just because of the whole point that he's trying to make, which is like, I'm here with some content. Don't worry, we're in this pandemic, but this is also the time of hustle. You should be working. You should be making things constantly. And as someone who is a creator who does a lot of projects myself, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, where not only it's like, oh, we always feel the need to be making something. I mean, God, I'm making this vlog channel because I always feel the need to make something. But also just during the pandemic, it got worse because there was just this whole hustle crowd that was saying, no, this is the time to make something happen. And if you don't, shame on you in a way. And I think he was making a whole point about that. Like, I think his just overall annoyance with even that subject matter, where it's like, oh, given how awful things are in the world right now, and we're on the brink of just this feeling like disaster. I mean, it was just like an awful past year. Definitely look for some optimism in it, but just overall, it's like I don't dare say to anybody they should be digging for optimism. But in the meantime, you had people where it's like, why aren't you working on more? Why aren't you making your dreams happen right now? You should be using all this time, this unlimited amount of time that you have, to make something happen, which is like, one, it's not even true. Not everybody got immediate unlimited time. I never did during the pandemic. I mean, I'm sure there's people maybe could look at my situation, because it's like there's definitely things I want to get done, but I never had a free moment. I didn't lose any time at my job. I had my full-time job the entire time. So it makes me wonder how many more people are in that position and never actually had the time that we're supposedly allowed in the hustle crowds, like, get to work. So I felt that. I really felt that, and I think that's kind of one of the big points he was making. But also on top of that, I just thought that he was making a lot of good points just about, creating stuff in general, and just feeling the need to always be producing something. And I like that he kind of did that in the previous special too, which I thought was a big reason for why he was kind of giving up on doing the stand-up, because he was like, I'm going to do more of what I want to do, and maybe you don't always need to hear from me. And he is still on the whole social media thing about, it's a phrase that people have said many times, but like I said, I think he just says it the best, which is, we have gotten so much social media where it's like everyone always feels like they have to say everything, and it's like, do we really need everyone to say everything, all their thoughts and positions and stances on everything all the time? Do we need that from everybody? And I think that's a good point, especially where it's like, yeah, I've been feeling that too, where I'm like, I feel like I need to maybe get a little more loose with my social media time and what I say, and does everything need a reaction? Do I need to dig into everything? Does every single trending thing need to be discussed? So I definitely felt that, but also I felt like pretty sad at times. And some people were saying that it was like his most depressing thing, but which isn't a surprise. What he's done in the, compared to what he's done in the past, it's not a surprise that it kind of has like a downer feel to it. But I didn't actually think it was the most, I thought it actually had an optimistic ending, the way it ends. It ends with him smiling while watching what he created. And I think there's a lot more to that. I think it's the fact that, despite the fact of how he feels and how, how the whole year went, and how, this was like a dream moment for a lot of people who have anxiety and don't like interacting with crowds, how people like that, people like him, it was still actually very bad and not what they wanted at all. Especially with him, because he actually mentions that he was trying to make a live special again in January of 2020, and then everything went to crap. But it ends with him, I think, being proud of what he created, because, despite his feelings on it and how he actually feels about everyone, that they should be reacting to the situation that happened the past year, not with, why didn't you get more done? Why didn't you take advantage of all the extra time that supposedly you had? Or why didn't you make your dreams come true during the darkest moment in history, or recent history anyway? Why didn't you take advantage of it? I think he feels that that's a stupid stance to have, but on top of all of that, he was still able to make something in the toughest of conditions, and given the kind of person that he is. So in a way, I was like, I think it's kind of optimistic. And I enjoyed the music a lot. Even though it's not quite on the level, I think, of his previous songs. Like I said, it's just not as heavily comedic, but I still found a lot to like with them, especially the Welcome to the Internet song. Very enjoyable. I thought his ending song was very sweet and sentimental, which connects a lot to his opening song about saving the world with comedy. And he has a great one where he's just singing about Jeffrey Bezos, which is hilarious. And it's just so pointless out of nowhere. He's just pretty much applauding Jeffrey Bezos, and that's it. It's the weirdest thing, and it's like, I don't know. But if you know how he is, it's just that it's what makes it so funny. And on top of that, he just filmed the whole thing within his own bedroom, and it kind of drives him nuts at times. And I think we kind of get like a behind the scenes experience of how it was like, how it's actually difficult for him. But if you're someone who like creates stuff in like a small setting, or, you know, like any kind of YouTube sphere thing where you're doing a lot of stuff from your own house. I think a lot of people can maybe relate to how he felt creating stuff himself. Just seeing this process. So I thought that was really interesting because, yeah, of all the things, like, I don't know. Can I relate to someone who works on videos in a small, tight space all the time? The answer is yes.